still have to question and answer among the audience or to the panelists, please let us know by raising your hand.
Yeah, Yadin, I believe Bruno's can speak. Go ahead, Bruno, if you can. Bruno, you're unmuted.
Alô, Bruno, você tá aí?
Yeah.
Okay. Bruno is logged, but he needs to be in pane list to share his screen.
Okay, he needs to share. Okay, let's give him the screen.
I just allowed him to talk. Let him try. Go ahead, Bruno.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Okay, can I share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much for this opportunity to show our learned lessons and difficulties here we are facing in Brazil. So I asked some colleagues to answer those questions about the learned lessons and the difficulties, and we received different lessons that they could learn, and the one that is most evident is about old equipments and broken equipments, that because it's very fast to repair and return to use, then purchase new equipment. So we expect that we have around 3,000 equipments broken all over Brazil, and we are repairing all of these equipments. And actually, we started a workforce in Brazil with Ministry of Health and Ministry of Economy and our Brazilian Society of Clinical Engineers, and plenty of volunteers and schools of technicians. So a very huge workforce to repair all of those equipments, and it's being very, very good for every hospital that is participating. The second learned lesson, it's about stock of repair parts, that we know that most of the, and I heard other colleagues saying the same things about the stock, and and for sure it's we need to keep more stock than we have today. And maybe the third, it's about review disinfection procedures that maybe not every professional, especially in clinical engineering, was so so precise or follow the book, And about difficulties, it's the most difficult now is to purchase new equipments, purchase stock spare parts of the ventilators and patient monitors, and so to build new facilities to receive those patients. The second one is to lead the team to maintain the control about anxiety or fear about the virus, and keep the team focused to support the nurses and and the doctors. And of course, that we are facing abusive prices of equipment, lack of contingency plan that make everything harder and take much more time to put everything together to establish a good facility to care those patients. Here I take some pictures of this old equipment and old that we are repairing, and I believe that it's it that I would like to say to you.
Thank you very much, Bruno. And AB Clan, wonderful society there in Brazil. I know we're a little over. We're going to go just a couple more minutes. Luis Fernandez, our webmaster, had put out this note that hopefully all of you can, and we'll get this to you, on how to subscribe to the Hacking Coronavirus weekday daily update that Clinical Engineering Division has started about 10 days ago. We also have a CED notifications WhatsApp group that has, as Elliot said earlier, over 100 involved. So if you can send Caleroy and I your mobile number, we'll get you onto that. I know there's some hands up and there's some questions. Yadin, back to you.
Great, thank you. So we were looking for raising hand to answer questions. I will not take the time to summarize the great information we exchange, except to say that obviously everybody is pointing at the need for collaboration and better cooperation at national and global level. Everybody is talking about how can we keep up with the standards and keep up with certification of overnight manufacturing, and how can we respond to the individual needs of isolation and yet deal with equipment, as Lee showed in the new architecture structure on a temporary basis. So around the globe we went, and now for the questions. Kali, can you identify those who raise hands?
Yeah, I can tell you it's Michael Ching and Mohammed from Bangladesh.
So Mohammed has his hands for quite a while, so let's go there. Bangladesh?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, as we are progressing for the ventilator production locally in Bangladesh, one of our giant company, Walton, is supporting us, and Medtronic has already came here and opened up their all resources. But specifically for Medtronic, maybe we don't need the certificates again, but for those who we are producing now locally ventilators, then how we will get the certificates immediately for our locally produced ventilators? This is the question number one. Question two is that we have found that there is a scarcity for the bill of materials. Several small things maybe we need in huge quantity in coming 7 days. Then how our global partners can help us out from this situation by supplying this bill of materials, especially for producing the ventilators.
Okay. Anybody on the faculty wants to take the first one about how to get certification for local manufacturers? And the second question, how can a small country get supply needed to support equipment? Let me take the first one. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Adriana. I forgot to tell you all that we will, or I don't even remember, but we will place the catalog for all the devices that are the priority medical devices for COVID in the WHO website. And then countries can request what they need. So you go to the catalog, you select the ones that you need, because there will be a United Nations pandemic supply network that will be providing these technologies. So we will be procuring for 120 countries. So that's for the part of the purchase of the devices. This has to come from the governments. Over.
And Adriana, what the criteria that you will qualify it?
Oh, that is a huge problem, Yadin, because we have already, and just referring to what Jitendra says, and Roberto also, we place the international standards. So, but if devices that do not comply with international standards, then UN and others are asking us to have like a procedure, how to approve others that do not have CE mark, FDA approval, or others approval. And so we are doing that, developing that document now, so that we can see how we can approve those devices. So it's not written in a paper now, but it has to be written by Monday next week. Over.
Okay. Jitendra, if you're still awake in the middle of the night in India, a question from Toby Clark about, will the specification of the ventilator you described going into manufacturing be available globally?
I'm pretty sure he had to leave to go back to the front lines.
Okay. Next.
But yes, Yadin, he said he will.
He said he will. Okay, thank you. Next question.
Although, Yadin, there is a concern that some of the production in India will stay in India. So we have similar concerns in Europe and similar in the US. So most of the manufactured in those regions is staying in those regions. It's not.
That's true, Adriana, but I also spoke to Jitendra yesterday, and India's creating diplomatic agreements with countries, and masks, PPE, as well as ventilators are planning to go to other countries. I know Israel's one of them, and there's others.
Yeah.
So it's not the final word yet.
No. This is the status as of now, and this will change every day. So yes, absolutely, it will change, hopefully. Thank you.
So a comment that I see a lot on the chat box is that people trying to come in and they cannot because we have limit number. It's a good problem to have because so many people want to participate in this dialogue. We are recording it. We will make it publicly available as soon as we can process it, and we will post the site where it will be available.
And Yadin, many people were able to go to the YouTube site and watch the show and send us their questions. So I'm glad it's working out somehow.
Good. Okay. We will post it on several places. I will offer Global Clinical Engineering Journal site as another way that we reach to more people with the recording.
Yadin, if we continue, and there, Kathy and France sent some questions to Adriana. And Adriana, I don't know if you can see the chat there. There's 4 questions they sent.
Okay.
While you're getting there, what is the French version of COVID priority devices released? Not mentioned in your newsletter for April, and some others.
I have not been able, sorry, I have not been able to read all the questions, but
that's fine.
The French version, well, we have to upload it in the medical devices website. I have not been able to do that. Of course, once I can do, everybody can see it there, but you can also post it in the IFMBE CD. We are really super overwhelmed in WHO. And then we will be updating this list. The one that was translated to Greek and to French has now been updated. So we need to update it and then reprint it, resend it again.
Okay.
Talking about this.
Michael Cheng, I believe you had your hand raised and you want to talk about competencies in clinical engineering, new demand.
Yes, thank you. In fact, what I posed that in question, and I think you can answer that later on. But I like to see that Li Bin's presentation gave me the impression that he has good recognition from his healthcare facilities. And this is what clinical engineers should try to achieve to play a bigger role within the healthcare facilities. It would be interesting if Libin can share with us his job description or organizational charts as an example.
Yeah, Lee Bin will do that. He's a good friend and also a good student. Both Tom and I taught a lot about clinical engineering in China, and would work with him to get that release, Michael.
Thank you.
Tom, I think
Yes.
now I can read the questions. Calibro just put them for me. So can I respond very quickly?
Please.
Yes.
Okay, for the French version, Maurice Page sent it to all the African countries, and you can send it to all. So that is fine. The second, the open source innovations to better face is difficult to navigate, and IFMBE. Yeah, we're inviting innovators to send their innovations to WHO to have a process similar to the compendium, so that we can have a validation process. We were talking about the innovation working group in WHO. There are other pages for innovations that I send also in the newsletter that you can send them to. There's one that says COVID innovation that is on USAID. Can WHO urge the national certification to quickly evaluate these innovations? Well, we're into that, but it is the regulatory agencies that have to assess those innovations. We had a call today, like 2 hours ago or 3, with the IMDRF countries, and they are trying to assess all the innovations as fast as possible, having emergency use listing, as you have seen from FDA or other regulatories. On open source ventilators, for instance, maybe next week, but not yet. We have to go to the regulatory agencies first. Is this a global or regional database of suppliers? No, we will put the catalog of the equipment, but all the suppliers, not until we receive the biddings and then we approve them, then we can put them there. So are there any reprimands or structure for countries that have confiscated planes full of medical equipment? Well, there is, countries are trying to see for themselves. So there are some countries that are banning exports or staying with the technologies for themselves. So others are helping to send it abroad. And there is something that called the Pandemic Supply Network that is using planes from the World Food Program to deliver these devices. And also the World Customs Organization, the World Trade Organization is having special tariffs and special things for medical devices for COVID. So I'll keep informing you through maybe Tom and Kali Roy so that you all can have this information. But thank you very much for everything. And yes, we need a lot of your help in the different countries to help us. So we'll send a request for you and information. Thank you.
Let's try to get a few questions, answer more. Abdul from Libya, I believe, has his hand up. Abdul from Libya. Okay.
We'll try to make sure everybody's unmuted. Go. And George Boadu, I think you saw, from Ghana.
George Boadu from Ghana.
Hello. Hi, everyone. This is George from Ghana. I have a quick question. The first question was actually asked by Dr. Ajabu through the YouTube link. And he's asking, he said, one major challenge in Ghana is the recommendation for disinfecting ventilators and other devices used in COVID-19 ICUs. So is there any recommendation for disinfecting the ventilators and other devices used in COVID-19 ICUs? And my second question is in a way, and I think Adriana answered in a way, but I want a confirmation here. In Ghana, the Ghana Society of Biomedical Engineers have assembled some engineers to develop ventilators to support the COVID-19, but
George,
one of the challenges.
Let's go and answer your question. Let's go and try to answer your question.
No, we don't have any in WHO or program on disinfecting ventilators, but we would certainly like that. We have a collaboration with all of you to maybe make a proposal of that. And secondly, for the assembled ventilators that are locally assembled in any country, we have to go through our the local regulatory authorities, in this case from Ghana, for approvals. We're talking with regulators from the sub-Saharan countries. I meet with them 2 or 3 times per week. Today we're meeting with the regulators from Pajo region. So I think something that needs to continue, and maybe Yadin, this is a general recommendation to all clinical engineers, is to try to liaise with the regulatory authorities from your countries. And I would like to propose, if this is possible, that maybe I have like a half an hour or something of a general invitation to solve general questions, maybe in a weekly basis. And I'll just send the link, and then we can have comments or responses from the people, because there are not enough, and many things are coming every week. There are different things.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Well, we need to move to another question we got from Emmanuel Koumo from Haiti, asking about, are there any training for basic repair on simple medical equipment like concentrator, BiPAP, syringe pump, monitors that can help immediately in this situation? I don't know. Tom, do you have any answer on the training?
I think, Adriana, you're calling for that, and CED is happy to help you work it up.
Yes, exactly. We need help from many clinical engineers. So if you have a training that we can put it there. We're also asking the industry to help us put something, and then ECRI has already released some of the PM things for some of the COVID most essential routines and maintenance routines. So I think it will be a great help from CED to help us organize and compile this together, and I can post them in the WHO website. Thank you.
And Roberto Ayala has also good training in Mexico with Senetec and can help with that. I don't have to tell you, Adriana, about Senetec.
No.
Okay, we need to bring that to a closure. It's over an hour and a half that we are on the air, and over 120 people were participating. First of all, I would like to thank the faculty for staying up in the middle of the night, in the middle of the afternoon in Europe and Africa, in the morning in US, Mexico, and Brazil, and to Adriana that took the time to come online and address all the questions one by one. The session is recorded. We will make it available. And Tom, any other final comments?
Again, over 500 people, I believe, have tried to participate, and there's a wider audience. So we'll try to get to your questions. We'll certainly get the YouTube out by tomorrow and try to tee up the questions and get answers over the next week. And I love Adriana's offer to perhaps have a half-hour briefing every week. So let's go from there.
Global CE COVID-19 Day is come to a closure. This is the first, and according to the interest you are showing, we probably should come up with the second one pretty soon. I appreciate your engagement and the question. I thank you for all the work you're doing. You are the silent heroes. Tom, it was a pleasure to co-host that with you. All the faculty, thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule. Bye-bye for now. Stay safe.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And happy Easter.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Passover.
Yeah.
Hey, thank
And
you.
Passover.
Happy Easter.
And Ramadan and everything.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.